evening, everybody. This is Johnny Seville from Acorn Wealth Corp here, and this is your executive summary for stock setups for Wednesday. Okay, let's take a look. The S&P 500 is still just kind of going nowhere at this point. It's stuck between the moving average support and the overhead resistance that we were talking about over the last few summaries. So no real move yet in the S&P 500 on the daily chart. But what concerns me the most when we look at the index is the hourly chart. As you can see, is kind of holding this upward oscillating pattern. And we've touched along support now once, twice, three times. So this is the fourth touch, and now we're looking to, if it possibly breaks down, that could be the beginning of a bearish move. Certainly, the money flow is indicating that kind of activity as well. So again, this is why we're so cautious of this market as we rally into these areas. Because from an index standpoint, that could possibly result in a drop back down to 27.31, which of course would be roughly a 60-point drop on the S&P 500. So we want to be watching this very carefully. Uh, High yield bonds for now are still holding. As you can see, these have been creeping upwards, which is still a sign that again there's still some strength in this. But that hourly pattern is the thing that concerns me most there. Of course, as well as the stocks above or below their 50-day moving average, also into that toppy territory which we've been discussing recently. So those are kind of the main things that I've been concerned about. Now, having said that, there's been some terrific performance in individual stocks. VSI had an amazing move today. Obviously, rallied up over almost 25%, easily hitting the first profit target at 623, and actually getting all the way up to 731, and then of course pulling back a little bit from there. So great move, and I'd consider updating the stop signal to 623, and obviously a fantastic example of why fallen angels are just so powerful, especially when combined with the smart money buying. Obviously, the beauty of that was as we hit profit targets this morning, as I mentioned in my early morning alert and text alert, I took those profits and rolled them straight into BIOL and bought that. And of course, it's a great 1-2 punch when you can bank some big profits on VSI and then immediately make an extra 17% or whatever it ended up being on the very next stock. So just a beautiful 1-2 punch. Again, of course, this was a fallen angel as well as a smart money setup, and which was an alert we had at 164, and then again at 190, and then of course again at here at 219. So we've had multiple opportunities to enter this, and of course I entered this morning. So BIOL, fantastic move. Also hitting its short-term target of 263 today, and longer term this could move all the way up to 393. So again, I've certainly been a big advocate of considering, there's nothing wrong taking profit, but this does have some potential to keep going. But again, a huge win, especially if you've been holding this since 164. The VSM has had a great move yesterday, hitting its target. Rallied almost another 10% today, but unable to hold on to it. So that will be a wait and see to see what happens tomorrow. SUP, again, beautiful fallen angel, absolutely awesome. Divergent money flow, great insider buying, and this is it had a little pullback yesterday, then just rallied straight off of that moving average support this morning. So again, this is up almost 20% from where we alerted it at. So nothing wrong with considering taking some partial profits, but obviously the target we have in mind here is 1083. But again, nothing wrong with some partial profit taking, and could update the stop signal to 573, which is what I'll be doing. Um, and we are holding this one in our Acorn account. AMRN. Now this technically looks great. This technically looks like it shouldn't have a problem getting to 2183, but they are reporting earnings in the morning, and there was insider selling. So and there wasn't insider buying. So for that reason, it wasn't strong enough for me to want to hold into earnings. So I got out of it, sold that in aftermarket trading at $20.01 and $20.02, I think is what it triggered at, and so out of that for now. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. But again, that's the thing that concerned me. Um, Now, MDCO, which we just sold, hit its criteria at 25.43, the first target there, which was ideal. So 25.43 is that first target. It could continue rallying, but first target was hit today, and we're out of that. So MDCO, in fact, we sold it just a couple of days ago around about just a little bit under that target to free up capital for a different trade. But obviously, either way, it did hit that target today. That could continue to rally, nothing wrong with it. But again, of course, um, keep in mind that again is also reporting earnings tomorrow. Again, ideal that it hit that target before earnings if you're a stock trader and obviously didn't want to take that risk. Rita. RETA also hit its target today, the first target of 91.33. Now you can see there's a potential downward channel here, so this could keep going further, but certainly has hit the at least the first target, and could consider updating the stop signal to 83.83. ADTN also had a nice breakout yesterday, and the key thing I wanted to point out there is just looking at how the volume was really good on the upside, quite thin on the downside today. So we'll wait to see if that's able to continue its rally, but it's now above all those moving averages, which is a very good sign. So that could certainly aid its push to these next levels. And AP, which we bought just a couple of days ago as a possible flag formation. Again, wanted to point out that its volume on the sell side dried up today, so hopefully that's poising for an up move tomorrow. So do keep your eye on that one as well. On the short side, QNST is getting very close to its entry signal around, I think it's sort of 13.17 that we're looking for it to break below. So again, looking great, but just still quite not there yet, but looking good. So that one I like, and we'll be looking to program that trade in if it does end up triggering into our account. And FIVE is also looking good. Lots of insider selling. There you go, lots of double-digit insider selling from multiple insiders, and what you can see here is that the volume really picked up towards the end, and if this breaks down below 118.43, I'd be looking at that as a possible entry with a stop signal at 128.13. The idea is that this could be a possible head and shoulders pattern, which would mean it could drop down towards this target area of 86.33, which is where I'm looking at for a target. Again, good insider selling. That would give us a 3-to-1 risk reward ratio or reward to risk ratio. So I like it from that perspective as well. So there you go. That's the summary for this evening. And again, Fallen Angels starting on March 13th. So hopefully you've been able to sit in on one of our sessions over this last couple of weeks because we're absolutely pumped. And trades like these is exactly why. So we'll see you in trading room. And of course, if you're interested in joining us for the course, just drop us an email info@acornwealthcorp.com. Have a great evening, and we'll see you all soon. Cheers.